Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. Sorry about the last video if the sound content for the voice was a little bit different. It's a travel microphone. In fact, it is a tiny microphone. I felt like I should have been interviewing my cat with the microphone. Anyway, moving forward, the good news. So let's move over to our good old site, LUNC. Now, a lot of people have been asking what happened to LUNC Penguins? Why is it not LUNC Penguins? There became a point where I felt like everything became an echo chamber of seeing me everywhere, seeing my name on everything, or seeing the brands and different things like that, and just simply being everywhere and irritating people. I wanted to make the site more driven towards the community because it was built for the community, and that's it. It didn't ever belong to me. It was something that I brought forward for the community. Renaming it to LUNC- was a great idea, and it reduces that echo chamber, and I think it's helped people not see me as much and then appreciate seeing my content when they do see it. So anyway, now we've got that out of the way. I wanted to wait, and it didn't deserve its own video, if that makes sense. It would have just been kind of pointless. It was, it's a 30-second speech. I've told quite a lot of people this anyway. But the good news is we have a very large Oracle rewards pool. This makes our blockchain very desirable, I think is a good word. Now, this is probably why you see the high levels of protection over the blockchain, thus not wanting to see any changes. Any proposals that make drastic changes could totally tip the balance of the scales, rebalance the scales to a whole new guard of validators. And so from this point here to around this point here, that was the time when there was a very small active set. You couldn't even stake coins if you wanted to. So the majority of those rewards were actually split out between, I think, around 60 validators on average. Doing the maths, that's around 32 billion LUNC per validator. I've done the maths on this for the video. So they got a considerable amount out of the community, the Oracle rewards pool, prior to the new set coming online, new validators coming online. And it just seems rather greedy. So you can see why there's this high level of protection over the blockchain, because all of this liquidity right here is locked in. And the reason why I say it's locked in is because you can't simply just get at it by turning a tap on. It's not a faucet. You've got to come up with very ingenious, inventive ways to create a project as to which it harnesses the Oracle rewards pool. This is something that Penguins does. This is how it has the ability to grow. This is why it's such a stable project. Now, with everything that's going on, okay, ensuring that this pool is not seen by the outer cosmos seems to be it's like something that people are quite good at doing, hiding that we've got all of this liquidity, when realistically we're very, very desirable. As I was saying, there's so much liquidity locked into this blockchain that it's enough to get it going. It's enough to turn the gears. It's enough to get projects interested. And this is something we need to start touting, is we've got a major amount of liquidity locked into the blockchain. And this is just LUNC. If you add on the USTC, which I'm not counting, it's a considerable more amount that 60 active set actually got. And then moving onwards, how much there is in liquidity. I didn't even add the USTC to that. So if we go over to cryptocurrency.com, if you value the LUNC currently in the Oracle rewards pool that remains, it's around $22 million. If you add the USTC to it, I think it's upwards of maybe $40 million. 40 million British pounds. I did it in pounds. Sorry, people who deal with dollars. So this in itself should be enough for projects to want to build on the blockchain, because there's a huge store of liquidity. It provides I wouldn't say a safety barrier, but it provides you with a steady stream of resources if you're harnessing it correctly. And that's what the Oracle rewards pool's there for. It's there to be harnessed. That's how the validator node base harnesses it. That's how you harness it on a daily basis to get your staking rewards. This pool, at some point, I believe you will start to see a uptrend again in it, but it's going to take some time. During that time, we've got so much availability with this Oracle rewards pool that we're actually quite blessed. We're very fortunate to be one of the very small amounts of these blockchains that are in the cosmos that have a huge amount of liquidity locked in. And it's just, I only see this as a positive. I only see it as good news, and I only see it as a reason for people to want to come and build on the chain. Because if you're smart, right, and you build a project, the majority of projects that are built in crypto, games for example, they're funded from their sales. Now, what can that project choose to do with those funds? Well, they can choose to cash them straight out into fiat, or they can stake them. They can stake them and lock them back into chain to get liquidity out of the Oracle rewards pool. And they could possibly do better from that, from simply just harnessing the rewards pool. And instead of kind of like not cutting your losses with it, but thinking ahead of time and going, you know, well, if we actually take this hit now, we start building up a treasury, we start staking stuff, you know, we can have a stable project, we can do all of these things. And that's what's important in our community, is having stable projects. We want to see all of the different projects come forward, and believe me now, there's going to be so many of them. I think someone's just mimicked BAYC's Bored Apes onto the LUNC chain. So you can see where the excitement comes from, because on top of all of this liquidity that you've got simply locked into this Oracle rewards pool, the community has a bunch of liquidity that is sat there, especially if you're hodling, right? A lot of people have staked. You in the future might possibly decide that you're going to spend some of that. That helps turn the gears of the blockchain. Everything helps turn the gears of the blockchain, but the one thing that's not going to help is all of us sitting on our bag all the time consistently. And the one thing that really does help ease that, because we all want to do that, right? We all want to sit on our bag. We all want to be safe. We all want to see gains. The projects that get involved and they do a lot of trading, they bring NFTs, they bring huge communities, lots of NFT trading. It's consistent volume that's not faked, because on Binance many months ago, going back a year ago, I showed you how Binance pretty much fakes transactions and just keeps simply sending them around in a circle to generate false volume for the blockchain, to make the blockchain look better. So having this positive volume that actually comes from use cases and people doing stuff, instead of something just simply getting sent in a circle and more or less still being sat on all the same. So I think this is something that we can all agree is beneficial to the blockchain, and we're only going to benefit from it in the future if projects start to come on board, start to understand and start to realize. And that's why I'm saying we should not, I said touting, and the word advertisement comes to mind, but it's more just informing people. I think just informing people that there's this opportunity here. It's like these ghost towns all over America, and you can buy properties for so cheap. I watched a documentary and they reckon there's going to be like a huge boom, because you've got so many of these tight-knit places where people are paying fortunes out for rent costs or whatever, when you can have a building in this ghost town, which you probably going to need to do a little bit of renovation on, but nonetheless, I think you get where I'm going with all of this. I see this as a huge positive, and I think is a good way to get us off to a better start moving forward with parity, because parity opens the doors to everything. It opens the doors to everything. And that's why I said previously, we need to be careful who we decide to go into IBC connections with, because we've got a lot to give, right? Another blockchain might not be so fortunate to have a very substantial Oracle rewards pool and a decent community pool that keeps consistently getting refilled. It gets refilled enough, we're able to consistently pay developers. We are doing okay, folks. Things are going better. Things are looking better. And they're just generally feeling better. I don't think we can ask for more than that. Taking the small wins where we can and planning out our long-term wins for the future. Hopefully with parity coming, you're going to start seeing a lot more projects wanting to get involved with the blockchain. And what we want to simply see happen is them launch the projects integrated into the chain that funnels the liquidity on chain and tries to keep it on chain. Those are the projects we're most interested in, because more coins locked up, more coins being moved, more transactions, the better. What you don't want to see is someone create a project on chain and then create a coin. Like say we create, I don't know, dipstick project, and then we bring out dipstick coin and we sell 1 million dipstick coins to the LUNC community. The likelihood is those community members sold their LUNC. They've bought the dipstick coin, which is part of its own system. This is not what we want. Like, as much as there's all these different stable coins and there's all these different coins that are integrated into Station, we're at a point now where we need to simply think about LUNC and USTC if we're going to follow that path. I think everybody knows that I feel USTC is not something that we should tinker with right now with everything that's going on with DK. That's my own personal opinion. All of this is just for educational purposes only. None of it's financial advice, folks. I hope you got some good feelings, some good vibes out of this video and some good information, and really just helping you move along this journey better. Other than that, stay safe, stay humble, stay aware, beware of scammers, beware of doppelgangers, beware of anybody pretending to be me, and I will catch you in the next one.